It was supposed to be just another evening at the grand estate, where crystal chandeliers glowed and champagne glasses chimed in polished hands. But for Amara, the black maid serving hors d'oeuvres in silence, the night was about to take a strange turn. The billionaire, famed for his arrogance, smirked and made a bet in front of the glittering crowd. "If you play Liszt, I'll marry you." Laughter rippled through the room. No one knew the truth about Amara's past or the storm that was about to erupt. Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Amara had worked in the Whitmore estate for barely 6 months, blending into the background of opulence. Every night, she cleaned, served, and disappeared without a trace, her eyes always lowered. To the guests, she was invisible, a uniform, not a person. Yet, beyond the corridors and the clinking of silverware, she carried memories of a different life. Once, she had been a prodigy, fingers gliding over piano keys in packed recital halls. But opportunity had been stolen, not by lack of talent, but by the invisible weight of prejudice. Her career ended before it began, doors closed for reasons no one dared say aloud. Tonight, as the Whitmore mansion swelled with elite guests, she thought it would be like any other event, until the billionaire host, Lucien Whitmore, decided to turn her existence into the night's cruel entertainment. The ballroom shimmered with gold and glass as Lucien leaned against the grand piano, his drink in hand. His voice was loud enough to slice through the chatter. "Anyone here know how to play Liszt?" Guests shook their heads, smirking, already sensing his intention. His eyes locked on Amara, who stood by the champagne tower. "What about you?" he teased, gesturing toward the piano. A few guests chuckled, some raising their brows in amusement at the absurdity. When she hesitated, he raised the stakes. "If you play it flawlessly, I'll marry you." The room erupted in laughter, an unspoken understanding that this was less about romance and more about humiliation. Amara's cheeks burned. She had endured whispers, offhand jokes, and invisible walls her whole life, but something in his tone pierced deeper than usual. It wasn't a challenge. It was a statement that she didn't belong in this world. Slowly, she walked toward the piano, each step echoing on the marble floor. The crowd leaned in, eager for the spectacle. Her hands hovered above the keys, and, for a moment, she froze, not from fear of failure, but from the weight of years spent silenced. Memories of her last performance flashed, the rejection letter, the patronizing smile from the music director, the words, "Not the right image for our brand." Lucien smirked, ready for her to falter. But when her fingers touched the keys, something inside her reignited, a fire that prejudice could dim but never extinguish. The first notes rang out, crisp and sharp, cutting through the hum of the party. Amara's hands moved with a speed and precision that stunned the room into silence. Each cascade of notes from Liszt's La Campanella was electric, pouring years of unspoken pain and defiance into sound. Lucien's grin faded. Guests exchanged glances. This wasn't the hesitant fumbling they expected. This was mastery. By the time she reached the piece's soaring climax, the air felt heavy, as if the entire mansion was holding its breath. The final note lingered in the air like a challenge, daring anyone to diminish what they'd just witnessed. Lucien, trapped in his cruel bet, stood frozen. The power dynamic had shifted, and everyone in that room knew it. Amara closed the piano, lid, and stood, her posture regal, her gaze steady on the billionaire who had tried to humiliate her. She didn't wait for applause. It came anyway, hesitant at first, then swelling as reality sank in. Lucien forced a laugh, mumbling something about being impressed, but his eyes betrayed discomfort. Amara walked away, her dignity intact, leaving him to choke on his own words. That night, Whispers spread beyond the estate, about the maid who silenced a room with Liszt, about the arrogance shattered by truth. For Amara, it wasn't revenge, it was reclamation. Prejudice had stolen her stage once, but tonight she took it back. How many more talents go unseen, not because they lack brilliance, but because the world refuses to look? Which country and city are you watching from? Take care.